parts on the twin turbo over the regular naturally aspirated engine, because it was designed specifically to be a twin turbo, and it was more so it was designed specifically for Cadillac. That stepping stone to that V Sport does not eliminate the V Series, which will be out next year as a brand new product. And they're talking somewhere in a range of 600 horsepower on the V Series next year when it comes. So you'll go from 321 on the 3.6 to 420 to near 600 horsepower, staying all within the CTS lineup and family of cars. The other thing to note up here in front on this car is the vertical headlamp display. If you turn those on for me inside there, I'd appreciate that. Thanks, Jeff. There's 8 LEDs up on top, there's 8 LEDs on the bottom, there's one projector beam, and they're all the vehicles, standard collection, luxury, performance, premium, V Sport premium, all have projector head beams on them, so even the standard. The difference is standard collection, you get a halogen bulb behind the projector. Everything else from luxury up gets the xenon gas or HID headlamps, along with the adaptive forward lighting. That's 15 degrees outboard, 5 degrees inboard, as well as the height adjustments. When you start it, it does this to find its level best and brightest. So great looking design up in front with the vertical headlamps. Cadillac, since before this were born, developed the vertical lights in the back of the cars. You can all remember, if you've seen pictures of the old 50s and 60s, all the lights were up and down in the back of the car. That heritage has been ours. We still own vertical lighting. Everybody seems to be going to LED lights because they're brighter and they're faster reacting and they last longer. But we're the only ones that have this look up front. And we own that vertical light beam. When you see this car coming behind you at night or even in the daytime, that's quite an impression that you get from it. Squat down a little so you're almost level with that headlight and look how bright that is, because you don't get the feel of it from here.
Oh shit.
See?
Yeah, it is.
That's quite a and even in the brightest sunlight, when you see that headlamp up in front, it is tremendously bright. So even in the daytime, you're getting a very good visual for people out on the road. Note too, at the bottom, you don't see any amber lights like you do on almost every vehicle out on the road. That doesn't express its amber until you put the turning indicator on. And once the turning indicator is on, it shows up when you turn it off, away it goes. So the amber lights are hidden up in front. Gives it a nice clean look, nice appearance. Aero active shutters. Top two areas here are where the shutters are located. You have no control over that. It's all electronically taken care of. It depends on engine speeds and temperature of the engine, and it'll open and close for drag coefficient and better performance out of the vehicle. The bottom is always closed. The top two are the ones that open and shut, just like what we had on the ATS last year. You notice two up in the front of the car when we shut the hood. This is what's called an inlaid hood, because the seam is up and behind the front fascia. So we've got no seams here in the front anymore, which used to grab air as it was coming towards the car and would create wind noise or wind shear, whatever you want to call it. It would also affect the drag coefficient of the vehicle. So by inlaying that hood up here on the top, by the time the air gets up and over, it's beyond that gap and it doesn't get trapped inside, lessening wind noise in front of the car. Plus it just looks a hell of a lot better. We'll also note too that to distinguish this vehicle from the front from its brethren, the ATS and the XTS, is they've shortened the gap here between the lower light bar and the top light bar, to where at nighttime this almost looks like one solid piece up and down because of that short gap that's inside there. As we move around to the side, you'll pick up a sensor that's here on the outside of the front fascia. It's bigger than the ones in the front, and it's recessed. This indicates that this car has automatic parking assist. It will parallel park itself, steering-wise, measurement-wise, and alert you as to, let's park the car here. You control speed of the vehicle through the brake and the accelerator, but it does the hard part, and that's all the angle cutting and the steering of the vehicle. It looks for a spot that it can fit into 3 maneuvers or less. It'll go into a spot that needs 4, 5, or 6 maneuvers if it's real tight, but like us, it has a preference, and the preference is 3 maneuvers or less. So it takes that I can't parallel park out of the equation, because now the vehicle will do it for you. So that's your indicator when you're walking with customers on the XTS and CTS. Those are the two brands that have this. On an XTS, and I don't want to get you confused, but be careful of this. On the XTS, front wheel drive only, and it's from luxury up. It's included in the package. So luxury, performance, premium, all have it if it's front wheel drive. CTS, it's performance and up, rear drive or all-wheel drive. And then the obvious question always comes up, well, why not all-wheel drive on the XTS? They started building that car in 2012, and the electric steering unit that you need for this operation wasn't available. And to retrofit it this year for the 14 was too cost prohibitive. So they put it in the front wheel drive at no cost and included it in the luxury package, but not all-wheel drive. This car was new from the bottom of the tires up, so they added the electric steering right from the get-go, and it's on rear drive and all drive, and will be a function that will be on all future products as they come out, of which we've got 8, 9, 10 new products in the next 18 months coming, counting this one. So you got 9 new products coming in the next 18 to 20 months. Get ready for Cadillac, because there's a lot of new product coming, which again will mean 1 more car, 2 more cars, more money in your pocket, and a great lineup of vehicles that we've long been waiting for since 2008, basically. As we move down the side of the vehicle, further still yet, we get the same lighting configuration that we've got on the XTS, with your turning indicator here, and then a little blink right here on the front of it. Puddle lamps underneath. You have the lit door handles here on the side, just like on the XTS. Everything standard collection and up comes with run flat tires. 17s, 18s, and 19s are all run flat. Nice safety feature, meaning that you can go 50 miles at 50 miles an hour to get to where you're safe to fix that tire or replace that tire rather than having to be on the side of a highway 10 o'clock at night by yourself. This makes the women feel real happy that they've got someplace they can get to, that they're safe, and then if they need to and can't get to somewhere, they've always got OnStar, so it's a nice way to tie both those safety features in for the customer. These are 18s, the blue caps everybody's asking me about. Dealer I picked it up at puts nitrogen in it, and that's what the blue cap stands for. Front, standard collection car and up gets Brembo brakes. So you get a 12.6 Brembo up front on the standard collection. When you get to the B Sport, you pick up a 13.6, 1 inch bigger, and they all got the nitrophoretic brake facing, so you'll no longer walk up on these cars and see rust on the calipers. I remember a couple years ago you'd have a B series outside for $71,000 or 72 grand. You'd walk up, it'd be rusted.
And the rotors.
Going, what's this? You know, it'd come right off, but it still made a terrible first impression, and you only get 1 chance at a first impression. No longer do you have that situation here.
Is it done?